Welcome to Inner Power Moments, a podcast that elevates your power, purpose, and potential.
Okay, welcome to Inner Power Moment. I am your host, Valery Malone, and today we're talking about confidence, one of my favorite subjects. When I was growing up, I always thought that confidence is for lucky people. People that are lucky, they're so confident, they got all their life figured out. They do everything with so style, and they're just there. Everybody's paying attention to them, and I always envy that. I always envy that because I was like, I wish I was confident like this person. I wish I was confident like that person, because the subject confidence matters a lot. Why? Because confidence can affect your health, confidence can affect your work, confidence can affect your relationship, confidence can affect your everything around you. Right? We hear about the confidence all the time. People say that, develop a confidence, make sure you confidence, make sure you walk with a confidence, you talk with a confidence, and all of that. But a lot of people think that is something that I'm born with, something that I am. And then we envy those people, right? We say to themselves, oh my God, those person is so confident. That person is so confident. They're so lucky. But here I am today to tell you confidence is not just for lucky people. Confidence is a skill that you can master. And today I'm going to teach you and I'm going to give you a couple of tips and strategy on how to master your confidence. And it's very important because when I grew up, I was going to these job interviews, right? So I didn't had a lot of education. I didn't go to college, and I didn't had all these fancy resume and things like that. I was stay home mom, and then when I got done with that, I wanted to go work. But once I start thinking about, okay, now that my girls are growing up a little bit, I want to go back to work. But I was really afraid that, how am I going to go and do this interview? How am I going to apply for a job? I don't have no skill. Not that I don't have a skill, but I also don't have a confidence to even go for interview. So it took me a long time, and it delayed my career for a long time just because I didn't have confidence to actually go and get a job. So I was sending my resume. People would call me, and I would have an interview. And before interview, I would get all sweaty. I would get all like, scared. And sometimes it was so bad that I would physically get sick. Talk about self-sabotage. Talk about self-sabotage. I would physically would get sick, and I was sick. I would cancel it. I would cancel it. And then I realized after a couple of times, I said to myself, that's funny. Every time I get a call from a company to go for interview, I don't feel good. I literally don't feel good. Like I was had fever, I would like sweat, I would be like so slushy, I didn't want to move, I didn't want to do anything. And that was actually lack of confidence. But at the time I didn't know. I actually thought that, oh my God, like what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So then one day, I remember my good friend, she was my neighbor, and we were putting the kids in school bus, and we were talking, and then she was like, okay, I have to go to work, blah, 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 this, that. And I said to her, I said, I'm looking for a job, and I'm sending my resumes, and I'm getting calls, but every time I get called, for some reason, my luck, I get sick and I can't go to the interview. And she said, really? Like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, I really actually physically get sick. She goes like, how often that this happens? Like, how many times happen? I said, I don't know, so far about like 5 times. She said like, well, no, that's not you getting sick. That's because you're scared, because you're not confident enough to go to the interview. And I did not realize this at the time. But then I said to myself, wow, that's not a coincidence. That is so true. And I said to her, well, I know I wish I was confident enough, like other people like yourself, that I could just go and then do the interview and get the job. And she looked at me and she's like, what do you mean? Like me being confident? Confident is not, I wasn't born with this confident. I learned it. I learned it. It took me a long time to actually become confident because she was like the supervisor of this big company. And when I heard that, I said to myself, that's funny. Confident is something that I can master, I can learn. And when I heard that word, I said to myself, okay, I will do anything in my power to learn how to be confident, how to be more myself, how to do things my way, how to go to the interview and own myself and say who I am and what I am. Either I'm a skill or not, either way, but I'm going to be confident enough to go and do that. And then as I started learning how to become more confident, I realized how important it is, because it's not only in your career, but it's also in your relationship. in a romantic relationship, in a co-worker's relationship, you and your boss relationship, you and your family relationship. All of that matters when it comes to confidence. And imagine not having confidence to speak up in a relationship, and say what in your mind and what are your desires and what you want and what you don't want. Imagine if you do that with your family, which a lot of people out there do. The reason they don't speak their mind, or the reason they don't stand up for themselves, is because lack of confidence. And the same thing with the coworker, and the same thing with the kids. And some people, even with their kids, are not confident enough to discipline their kids, or raise their kids in a way, because they're so, lack of confidence. But they don't know it. It's not intentionally. We don't know it, because I didn't know I was like that. So when I realized it, I was like, okay, if it's something learnable, then I'm going to learn it. So if you're here today, and if you feel like you're not confident enough, and if you feel like, I wish I could have a confidence to go in front of the camera, I wish I would have a confidence to raise my hand on that meeting and speak up, or I wish I had a confidence to ask this guy or girl out, or I wish I had a confidence, then you're in the right place, because I'm telling you, if I can learn it, you can learn it extremely easily. So stick with me. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to be confident. So one of the things that when it comes to confidence, you need to know, and if you have to write this down, write it down. If not, all the information is on the show note, and you'll go over there and you see. One of the things that you have to do is to get out of your comfort zone. It is the hardest thing to do, but it's very important for you to do. In order to become more confident, you need to get out of your comfort zone and start small. Something small, nothing big that can overwhelm you and physically make you sick, but something small. Something like, you know what? Today at work, I'm going to talk to this person that I wanted to talk to, but because of lack of confidence, I couldn't do it. I'm going to do it today. Or today, I'm going to the gym. Instead of wearing baggy clothes, I'm just gonna wear my exercise clothes. Or today, I'm going to actually have a conversation with my partner, and I'm going to tell them how I feel about this relationship. Like, that's something is very important for you to do. Start small, but get out of that comfort zone. A lot of time, the reason we cannot master confidence is because we're in our comfort zone. We do the same thing over and over and over and over again. What happens when we do that? When we do things over and over again, we become so comfortable. It become our comfort zone, and we're good at it. We're just, this is our little bubble. I don't want to get out of this bubble. I'm good over here. But you're losing a lot of opportunity. You're losing a lot of yourself. You're losing a lot of things that is out there for you in order for you to accomplish, because lack of the confidence. So to get out of this bubble, step out of this bubble and just start something small. Whatever that small thing is for you, start something small, and then say to yourself, I'm gonna do this. Then do it again the next day. Then do it again the next day. At first, it may feel uncomfortable for you, but after you're doing it a couple of times, you will get a little bit comfortable. But more importantly, you're gonna get out of your bubble. You're gonna get out of your comfort zone. And that's the key. In order to become confident, you must get out of your comfort zone. And I have so many clients ask me all the time, every time, about like, I don't know, like I do it for a little bit, but then I go back. I do it for a little bit, but I go back. And think about it, when as a human, when we do something that feel uncomfortable, what do? We turn back inward. We're like, okay, no. Human don't like to get uncomfortable. Uncomfortability is not something that we're used to. But that can actually, you being in a comfort zone can actually cause a lot of problem in your life, cause a lot of depression, anxiety, stress, and things that is not good for your health, because you're in comfort zone. You have all these ideas in your head. You wanted to go out there. You wanted to find your passion. You wanted to conquer the world. You wanted to have a better relationship. You wanted to make money. You wanted to do all these stuff. But think about it. You are not doing all of that because lack of confidence is keeping you on that bubble, on that comfort zone. So when it comes to that, every time you get uncomfortable, say to yourself, is it worth it for me to stay in this little bubble and this comfort zone for the rest of my life and do the same thing over and over again? Or I'm losing so much opportunity. I'm losing so much opportunity that I can do so much if I can just make myself a little bit uncomfortable. a little bit uncomfortable, and do it voluntarily, because you have ability to become confident. You have ability to come out of your comfort zone. The reason we're not doing it voluntarily, because we feel it, because it's intentionally, and then you're like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. But sometimes it happens. The universe gave us something that unexpected, but you deal with it. And that's how I determine, and I say to myself that every time when I feel like I'm in my comfort zone, if I get out, it's hard. But if something happen that you don't expect, you have the ability to deal with that unexpected, unfortunate event. So knowing that itself, you should say to yourself, I do have the capability to come out of my comfort zone and become more and more and more confident in my life, to create a life that I absolutely love. That's one thing you really have to do when it comes to confidence, okay? The other thing that a lot of people are not confident is because they think to themselves, what if I fail? What if I do that thing and I fail in that thing? And that what keeps you, that's what's blocking you for you mastering your confidence. Okay. That's really what it is. Because when I was starting my life, I mean, just being a mother alone, right? When I became a mother, I was so afraid that I'm not going to be a good mom. What if I fail? What if I fail being a mother? Okay, then that's a big deal. But in the end of the day, if you look at it, whether you like it or not, you have to learn, right? You have to learn. And I did learn. But sometimes those thoughts, those things that we inherit from the past comes in and stop us and block us from moving forward to life and create a life that we want. So a lot of time it comes from the past. Maybe somebody told you something. Maybe somebody told you you're not good enough, or maybe somebody told you that you should do this, you should do this. If you don't, you're not good enough. And because of those things, when we try to go out there and do something new, those little thoughts comes in your mind. So one of the thoughts that is really strong, because we have a strong emotion bond to that, is failure. What if I fail? What if I fail? Now, I always, when I coach my clients, I always say to them, okay, if you playing the what if game, here's what you have to do. Ask yourself, what if I don't? What if I do this thing and I learn from it, even if I fail? Because there's no way that you can try something, even makes you uncomfortable, you're not going to learn something from it. From the process, you will learn something. That is a guarantee. Let's just say you fail. Let's just say you wanted to start something and then you start the process and then you don't get that thing. But that process itself is a skill that you learned, and no one can take that away from you. So I really don't like when people say that, what if I fail? If we want to play the what if game, then what if I win? What if it work out? But to me, I always tell my clients is like, even if you fail, you're a winner. And that is the truth. Because a lot of time when we go to learn a new skill or we wanted to start something, our business maybe not work out. If you wanted to open a business, you try, it didn't work out. The process of that, you already have so much knowledge. Or you're going in a relationship, right? You're trying to be in a good relationship, you're going out on a date, you're spending time with that person, you're doing all this stuff. And then that relationship didn't work. But you learn so much through that process, okay? If you wanted to buy a house, okay, you're doing all these things. This process that you're doing, right? You may not get that house, but look how much you learn. Look how much you learn through that process. So there is no such thing as a failure. There's never such thing as a failure. To me, actually, I always look at it this way, okay? If you don't try, you're failure by default. Think about if you want something and if you're not doing it because you're afraid you might fail, and then what do you got here? Nothing. So you failed. It's by default failure, right? Imagine all these artists, all these celebrities, all these millionaires, if they would have said to themselves, I'm not going to try because I'm going to fail. And by the way, every successful person that you admire, if you go back and read their story, they always tell you that how many times I failed. So if you lack in confidence and not starting something because you don't have a confidence, because you have this thought that I'm going to fail if I start and then that will be embarrassing, switch that mindset. Even if I fail, I am going to learn something in the process of that failure. And as a matter of fact, that process is so valuable because no school can teach you that. Okay? You're not going to learn that in school. Uh, Me, I learned everything from failing first. I failed. But I learned it so fast. I realized it, I learned it. I was like, okay, I may not got that thing, but I learned in the process other things that I didn't know about. So if you want to become a confident, get rid of this idea from your head that I am going to try something, I'm going to try to do something, but I'm going to fail. That's not that's not how it works, okay? So that's another thing that you have to do when it comes to becoming confident of yourself and being yourself and taking the opportunity to grow as a person. That is the thing that you have to get rid of from your mind. Failure is not an option. That's not what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start something. I am confident. I can do this. If I fail, that's okay too, because I learned something in the process and I'm gonna apply that knowledge and then keep going and doing something else. So we said that to start with a small. My puppy's over here, so if you guys hear it, that's why he's barking. He doesn't like when I record. That's one thing, okay? Get rid of this thought from your head that I'm gonna fail if I start. I'm gonna fail. I can't do it. That's not true. Number three, in order to master the confidence, I know it's very small, but something that you have to do if you feel like you're lacking confidence is that the way you look, that's how you feel. So if you lack in confidence, I highly recommend you to get up, get dressed, and make yourself pretty. Put something that you like because that will make you feel better. Once you feel better, your energy comes up. Once the energy comes up, you psychologically going to feel like I wanted to do something, right? I wanted to do something. It's so simple, but it's so important. Every time when I feel like, okay, I don't have enough confidence to go to this event. Okay, oh, these people, there's a million people, there's 1,000 people over here. How can I go? How can I go talk? How can I go on the stage? How can I do all that? But I always say to myself, you know what? I'm gonna buy a nice outfit. I'm gonna buy a nice outfit for myself. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna make myself all pretty, and then I focus on myself. I focus on myself because once I focus on myself, that little voice that is stopping you from you being confident to go and do what you're doing, it goes away. So that's another trick that you can apply when it comes to conquering confidence, okay? It's very simple, but you have to do it. Because what happens if you get up in the morning and if you're in your pajamas and walking around with your pajamas, especially people that are working from home, you get very tired. You know, you get tired, you get slushy, you get like, I don't know. You don't want to be on a FaceTime. You don't want to talk to nobody. You're just like in your own little world and you're not, feeling to do anything. But if you get up and you take a nice hot shower or cold shower and get yourself ready, and if you're working in the gym and come back and dress up for nothing, even if you have to, even if you day off, even if it's your day off, even if you don't have to go to work or do anything, just get pretty for yourself. Put your nice clothes, nice shoes, do your hair, do your nails, or for guys, put your nice hat, your jeans, your shirt. You'll be amazed how your energy will change. And that's what it's all about. We make a decision based on how we feel. We do things based on how we feel. So, in order for you to master confidence, what you need to do is that you got to change your exterior look to feel better inside. Because once you feel better inside, then it becomes so much easier to do other things around you. And that's really powerful. It's so powerful, simple, but powerful. So, if you want to master confidence, three things that you have to do. Let's go over it again. One, come out of your comfort zone. Do whatever it takes to come out of your comfort zone. Do small things. Don't get overwhelmed. There's something that you want to do that you have putting it off. You're putting it off, putting it off. Today, I need you to go out of your comfort zone and do that thing. Okay? And then put it for the next 7 days. For the next 7 days, say to yourself, I'm going to do something small, get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyways. You see how much change it will happen in your mind and your body and in your soul. Okay? Number two, It's very, very important that don't think about you going to fail, because failure is not exist. It does not exist. It's just something that we heard before and we carrying it with ourselves. Even if you fail of that thing, the process, you will learn a lot, and that knowledge is priceless. Okay. And number three, get up, look alive. You're alive. Pull yourself together. You exist, you matter, and then you can get a good energy. Once you get good energy, based on that energy, go out there and conquer the world and do things that you like. Don't let lack of confidence stop you from that. Okay? If you do these three things every single day for the next 7 days, I promise you, you'll be completely different person. So that's my thing. And I've tried each and every one of them on myself. That's why I'm giving you this advice. I'm not making it too complicated because I don't like complicated stuff. And I also like fast result. For me, always when I'm lacking something, when I wanted to learn something, I need a fast result. Once I get that result, I say to myself, okay, great. Let's move on, go to the next one. So these are the three things that I want you to try this week. And then you let me know how that feels. And then, yeah, I wanted to hear from you. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what other subject you want me to talk about. And till next time, have an amazing day and keep practicing your inner power.